ya. See ya.
We were almost perfect, but you were moving at a slow pace. Kingdom is
One enemy remaining.
paradise is in the fast lane, telling you the truth. I wanna see you in pain, telling you the truth. Believe it's fine, and make you go insane. White lies, I can give you what you want. White lies, let's not feel all that wrong.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Flawless.
To keep you in the dark.
Player standing.
I dare you to act like you're okay. Here's the
Spike
truth,
down
I
A.
still love you.
One enemy remaining.
White lies, I can give you what you want. White lies, let's not feeling all that wrong. Trust me, it's for the best. I don't wanna leave a mess, so there ain't no harm in telling. White lies, to keep you in the dark.
One enemy remaining.
White lies, I can give you what you want. White lies, let's not feeling all that wrong. Trust me, it's for the best. I don't wanna leave a mess, so there ain't no harm in telling.
One enemy remaining.
White lies, to keep you in the dark. White lies, white lies.
3. 30 seconds left. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Too bold to fade out, you will see my face amongst the crowd, shining through, see it from my point of view.
Last player standing.
Saying a word, but you speak volumes in the way you look at me, like it hurts to breathe. Don't know me.
10 seconds left.
Don't hold me down. Don't hold me down.
10 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Don't hold me. Don't hold me down. I'm stronger now. Don't hold me.
Hello and welcome to the VDC. We apologize for the delay, and I think we're going to, as quickly as we can, get into this contender match. That's right, we've gone to the contender tier here, our lowest tier skill level, but I'm sure this match will be very fun. Today's matchup, we have Team Positive of the franchise Anti-Tilt and the Sod Gods of the franchise The Grass Touchers. And if I pull up their info here, Team Positive so far undefeated, 8-0 in map score. Meanwhile, the Sod Gods are 3-5. We'll see if they can pull through with an upset here in either of these maps. As I want to call out one particular performance among these teams so far, which is the performance of Nolan on Team Positive. Nolan's plus minus, I believe, coming into this matchup is 100 over 8 games. That's right, plus 100, averaging a plus 12.5 per game. He's got 204 kills in this season, only play games, and 100 deaths. Incredible KD so far. high by far of anybody who's actually a regular player, as we are just still waiting to get into this map. Also to call out is Aki, also on Team Positive, with a very good plus 56 and a 1.80 kill to death ratio. On the Sod God side, we have Milos, who is plus 29 with a 1.35 KD. And as we continue down the list, we find another member of Team Positive, Panda, plus 35 with 1.39 KD. Again, we're just waiting to get into map 1 here. Unfortunately, I don't actually know which map this is going to be. Nobody gave me a heads up. On the map picks, we're going to find out. It's going to be a surprise to you and a surprise to me. Again, we are just waiting to get into Agent Select. I'll go through some more stats, because stats are fun. Oh, nope, here we are. All right, so we're going into Ascent here. And shout out to Anti-Tilt. Very coordinated. They've all got AT in their Valorant usernames. Really quite the squad over there. As we see Cryo locks in the KO very quickly. Still waiting on picks from the other side, as just getting into this Agent Select. Morningstar will lock in the Omen for Team Positive. Side Gods will be starting on defense on Ascent. Team Positive will be starting on the attacking side, as we've got some more agent picks locked. That will be the defensive Sod Gods fully locked in. Milos on the Chamber. Yellow the Flower, she will be on the Sage. Sulgi will be on Reyna. DJ Dreamer on the Omen. And I actually can't read that last name due to our lovely overlay. Zinjitsu is on the KO. And wow, we've got matching player icons across both of these teams as well. Lots of team coordination coming into this one. As we start to load in, it'll be the Omen, Killjoy, Raze, Sova, and KO for the attacking side of Anti-Tilt's Team Positive. As we load in here, while Anti-Tilt has some very impressive performances, statistically, Sod Gods also have a couple more players of note. Sulgi, she is plus 15 with a 1.12 KD, and Zinju is also quite high on the ACS ranking, though at minus 20, doing very well in the rating department. As all of these players are in the top 20 of rating, all the players I've mentioned so far. As we start to get into this first round, and it looks like Team Positive is set up to take B here, as it would just be Sulgi here to receive that push. As now Yellow the Flower looks like she will also make her way over.
A gift.
And as the round starts, Zinju is going to throw out this null command, or 0 point rather, which will find nothing. Yellow the Flower's barrier orb actually should slow this push down as the attack side starts to push into main. They're going to break the wall down and reset briefly before it looks like the push comes in, and it will. Sulgi's here 1v4. Let's see what she can get done. It looks like she's just going to get outgunned. A lot of damage, but can't get anybody down. As the spike's going to go down, we're going to go into a 4v5 retake. As the Sod Gods wait for the spike to go down, wait for everyone to rotate in. Fragment will come out to the back of the stage. They start to push in. Yellow the Flower is going to be the first one in. She finds Morningstar looking the other way. We'll get one. Zinju will also get one. Nolan, though, trades. And two more go the way of the Sod Gods. It's now a 3v1. Mystic Panda finds the first. We'll have to find two more to clutch this round as Milos is harassing. Yellow the Flower on the other side. Mystic Panda gets one more. It's now the 1v1. Yellow the Flower here reloading, swinging around. The shot. Recon Dark goes out. Amanda gets the headshot in the 1v3. What a first round. huge first round out of Mystic Panda will get them the first round for Team Positive. Defending that boathouse position, found 3, a little bit of classic right-click shenanigans, always a possibility, and it'll go his way, as it looks like the hit's coming towards A. We're going to see that traditional Omen one way from Dreamer, and Zinju holding behind it. Looks like a pop flash might be in hand. That won't come through. Meanwhile, Cryo has already gotten all the way up Cat, and he might actually just find the back of Dreamer here. As Dreamer just tucks away, Cryo into tree, will get down me, the first pick of the round. Dreamer actually gets one onto Cryo, goes down to the headshot. Nolan's grenade, paint shells will find Zinju. That should get the site for Team Positive as they look to claim this second round. Spike will go on, and it'll be Yellow the Flower and Sulgi that will have to look for the retake. They will find a spec, which will go to Yellow the Flower. And it looks like there's a bit of a trap on this door, perhaps. Recon Dart comes out, notes both players. Mystic Panda's going to swing off of it. He'll find one. Aki, they find the last. And it'll be the second round on the board for Team Positive. Relatively clean second round, only losing 1 player. So they carried most of their guns into a complete bonus round here. Cryo will, of course, have to reinvest, grabbing the Ghost for himself. Otherwise, though, Team Positive, no new rebuys as we get into this next round. Looks like a more of a defaulty style for Team Positive. They were hard committing the first 2 rounds, won't go that direction here, as it will be favorable guns for Sod Gods. And Dreamer holding the one way here. Pop Flash comes in, doesn't catch Dreamer, but enough people swing that he falls off the angle. Looks like just a fight for the orb, as the spike is on the other side of the map. In the possession of Aki. So they look for the mid presence now, Team Positive. It looks like Spike is still planning to end up on B. Aki, she's all the way pushed up into B main with that Spike, still waiting for perhaps this push through Cat. Might get some mid presence, and they will go that direction as Nolan blast packs forward. Looks like the first contact's gonna start now, as Yellow the Flower will find the first onto Aki. They push into sight, Mystic Panda trades, but Solgi finds one in mid. And the Spike's actually been left behind in B main as Nolan finds Solgi in the middle of the map. Smoke drops, and Milos will find Morningstar. Zinju finds Nolan in mid as well. That will leave Mista once again in a 1vx, only a 1v2 this time, but time is very low, and the Spike is not particularly close. He's going to have to push out, going to have to look for these last 2 players if he wants to win this round. Might just choose to save the Vandal. No one peeks him. He will do that. Actually will swing. Clean headshot. Finds the last kill of the round. So, Sod Gods prevent the bonus conversion, but do lose 3, which will probably put their economy in pretty precarious shape. It's already a Spectre that was saved round by Dreamer. And it looks like there's going to have to be 3 Spectres on the board. Perhaps just 2. I saw a gun swap at the last second. As we get into round number 4, Team Positive onto full rifles here. And Nolan with that ultimate already online. One way out again, Dreamer will swing out to hold it. Nolan fighting for an orb that he actually cannot grab, as he will spam down the barrier orb. There's actually 3 players behind that orb on the B site. Interesting choice from the Sod Gods, as that wall will fall. And that actually momentarily looked like it might have been drawing some rotations from Dreamer. Does not. As Dreamer just catches a shoulder pushing into A main. Blinds all 3. Swings out. Can't actually get anything. Aki will get him. And so that will signal the push in, as Zinju's the only one here. Nolan actually goes down on the other side of the map as the other players of the Sad Gods start to rotate. Zinju up on top of rafters, as it looks like the spike's going to go on. Aki will get that planted, and that should get the rest of the Sad Gods to start rotating. And Mystic Panda actually finds Zinju reloading after spamming the. And that's an unfortunate loss, as that'll make it a 3v4 retake. With Yellow the Flower still rotating in. Solgi's going to throw out the Leer. She's going to push out. Actually finds the first onto Cryo. And there's still a couple of low health players here for Sad Gods. One of them, Yellow the Flower, will go down. Mystic Panda finds another onto Milos. This leaves Solgi in a 1v3. She's on low health. There's not a lot of time left. Throws out the Leer. Aki's going to swing into it, so Solgi will find her. Gets swung by Mystic Panda, though, with the 4K on the round. Will close it out and should just live the spike explosion as Team Positive goes up 3-1. Good sight take by Team Positive, and the lurk of Mystic Panda proved to be fruitful here, as we're taking a look back at some of the earlier plays from round 3, which Milos closed out as we come back to live. And it looks like the B hit here, which only Yellow the Flower right now is here to receive this. And of course, this is a bit of a lighter buy, even an eco for Sad Gods, as their money fell apart after losing round number 4. And the hit's coming down lane. Yellow the Flower forced to swing out by the Nano Swarm, go down to Nolan. That should get the spike into the ground, and it should get us into the 5v4 retake. As Nolan, he's just going to pop the showstopper, rips it out, and gets Milos. Nobody there to trade. Dreamer catches the back of his head, but can't get the shots. Zinju will finally shut him down. But that leaves us in a 2v4 disadvantaged. Guns make that a 1v4. Solgi goes for Aki, gets the dink, but they will win the 1v1. And Team Positive continues rolling. They're up 4-1 here on Ascent. All right, so we go into the 6th round, and that sounded like, yes, that is the tour de force coming out from Milos on the Sad Gods on the chamber. Again, that split presence from Team Positive. Spike will favor the A side of the map this time, as they will take control of main. Morningstar here. Looks like they're going to put out some smokes. We'll see if this is a hit. It does look like Aki is also rotating in, so it should be the site hit here. And that null command should signal the push in. Solgi going to be here to receive, as will Zinju, who finds the first onto Morningstar, finds a second onto the KO player. Solgi will find another onto Mystic Panda. However, they should be able to get Cryo back onto his feet, so this will be a 3v3 or not. Yes, it looks like the resurrection will come through. Cryo back on his feet as Aki pushes up to get the spike down. Nolan gonna peek into Milos though, and will go down.
You should run.
So that'll make it a 2v3. The lockdown's gonna come through as well to try to buy some time. Dreamer's just gonna push through, doesn't care, goes down to after getting one. But that makes it a 2v1 for Aki. And looks like she'll have to ace to win this round, as the last two players are starting to push up. Catches Milos. There's actually going to be a res, as Milos will find Aki's head instead. Not quite enough for Aki that round, as the spike will be defused. They're going to hand it over to Yellow the Flower to get that res back online faster. As the Sad Gods collect their second round, and we go to 2-4 as we enter the Dark Dimension for a moment.
I need this.
And we're going to take a look at some of the round highlights from earlier rounds. Dreamer, of course, with the swing down. Huge kill in that round to give the Side Gods some space and give them that 2v1 turned into a 3v1. Didn't even matter, as it looks like Team Positive set up for this B hit. Yellow the Flower here, holding the barrier orb, will throw that down. It's going to get spammed out by Nolan, who will break a section of it. And there's some mid presence now coming in, as the Side Gods have abandoned mid-market. Crowd's going to take a lot of damage from that fragment, but have successfully taken control of market, have Team Positive, and it looks like this is going to be a split push into the B site. Should be coming in any second now. Nolan's first headshot should signal the entry, as Yellow the Flower will trade one, goes down health, however. Dreamer in the back of the site tries to get the headshot, can't find it. And that should give the site to Team Positive, as Sulky's going to find the back of Mystic Panda here on a bit of a lurk. Even the odds a little bit as we go into this 2v3 retake. Zinju about to walk out as Morningstar. They throw out the Paranoia. Will actually go down to Sulky. Zinju finds Nolan, so now it's Aki in a 1v2. They'll swing out, can't find the shots, just some bullets exchanged, having to fight Sulky in the 1v1 on the other side. Zinju will shoot through the box, find the frag. And that'll be a third round for the Sod Gods.
Try again.
So now 3-4 through 7 rounds in this first map of Ascent. Team Positive won that pistol round, and after winning round 4, looked perhaps poised to run away with it, but now 2 rounds in a row from the Sod Gods. And that's put a damper on things. I believe the economy of Team Positive is going to force a sort of lighter buy here. Perhaps a buy for next call, as A looks to be the site to hit. This 0 point could find quite a few as the boombot comes out. It will only note Nolan. Bit of a smart play by Team Positive. Nolan's been lurking a lot, and if that 0 point only noted the Raze player, Sod Gods might think that potentially it's that lurk again, though it doesn't look like anybody on the Sod Gods has moved too much. Morningstar will throw a smoke into Rafters. It's a very slow push into A main here, but the Sod Gods aren't really aware of it. There's still the 2 players on site. We'll see how they can trade out, as the Aldron's going to go in. Nolan poised and ready to throw these paint shells. Zinju will get noted by the Aldron and tagged. Sulgi will pop the Empress as here comes the site hit. She finds the first onto Mystic Panda. She's going to throw out the Leer, re-swing, and it looks like that's enough for Team Positive. They have all pulled away immediately and without hesitation, pulling away from Sulgi and Arena ult as they start to storm back through mid. Might get spotted here by Milos, and they will. Milos, though, will have to teleport away, as now Nolan pushes through the smoke. Aki at his back, the showstopper coming out. Dreamer just hoping he doesn't get spotted, and he won't. He will live, but Cryo will find Zinju, as Dreamer, reloading with players right in front of him, goes down to Aki. Trade still going back and forth. It's now 2 in favor of the Sod Gods, as that barrier orb's going to break as it sends 2 players into the ceiling. I have not seen that before. It'll result in a 1-for-1 trade. And Aki has to get the spike down. She'll find Milos, but just out of time. They will eventually go down to Sulgi, as well as 4th round is on the board for Sod Gods. Team Positive, though, on a lighter note, or lighter buy, made them work for that one. As we take a look at this first pick by Sulgi, completely stopped the rush in this wall from Yellow the Flower. Naki just running out of time to get the spike down, and oh, we're actually going to see a timeout coming in. Bit of a late timeout in the round, but the timeout will come through as we descend into Sova's head for a moment. So it looks like Team Positive calling the timeout. I do believe this is a tactical timeout, probably discussing how best to break these holds coming in from the Sod Gods. Definitely a lot of chaos in some of the previous rounds, especially the last round, that saw them hardcore pushing through mid a bit unsuccessfully. Again, Team Positive had that hot start in this map, but are starting to struggle, and going into what I believe will be their buy round here, they seem to want to talk a few things out. We still see a few players in spawn. They're going to be late getting out because there is only 4 seconds left once the timeout ends. See what they can do to reverse their recent fortunes. They still have a tie on this map, and it looks like B is the place to be, as that 0 point is not going to note a soul on Earth. As the paint shells come in, that's actually going to do some significant damage to Yellow the Flower as she gets the barrier orb up. A bit of a punishment there, as Dreamer spots a few. Aki's going to take down Yellow the Flower. Nolan finds Dreamer, and now suddenly Team Positive have access to Sight, which they will take. Silgi going to start rotating in for the grass touchers, Slot Gods. As the spike will go down, it is a 3v5. We'll see if they can get much done on this retake, as the first player spotted as Nolan will take down Zinju. Now a 2v5 as the Paranoia blinds both players. Nolan swings out, bit of a spam through the smoke. Neither player goes down. This point might be the call to save, and it looks like they are starting to back away. Smoked off and without much utility to work with, especially Chamber not having a ton of retake utility. They reposition, take a little peek around, see if they can find anybody lurking, and are just going to back out. So we're going to see some post-plant, post-explosion fights maybe. It looks like Morningstar, they'll swing. Can't find the kill though, and they'll just end up backing towards mid as the spike will explode and Team Positive get back into the positives, up 5-4. And Nolan, of course, as we pointed out before the game, on 11-7, already having some impact. Mystic Panda, though, I believe was on 11-4, and had that clutch at the very start of the map, very first round, has only gone down in rounds Team Positive have lost, which is a pretty impressive record so far. So 10th round will come in, and it's going to be a save for the Sod Gods for the most part. Those two weapons were carried through by Silgi and Milos, but otherwise some pistols are coming through as Milos swings out actually deep into spawn. Will find one. Zinju also from Cat is going to ring a shot through that will tag up Aki, and they'll be quite low as they start to rotate. Sulky's even pushed all the way up here. She might catch some rotators. Could get a big play out of this. Finds the first onto Cryo. Let's see if she can get more, as now that stops both players in their tracks. The Paranoia comes through, doesn't get her. She can re-swing this. Ready for it, spamming through the box as Zinju is playing high-low. And Sulgi will find the lurking player of Mystic Pandas. It's now down to Aki and Morningstar.
Placing swarm grenade.
As the duo are pinned all the way back in their... And it's hard to work back when you've lost this much mid. Never know where the last two players could be. As they might just try to save what they can here in the spawn. A lot of traded rounds. I can't imagine Team Positive's economy is doing super well, and Aki going to have to reinvest and buy herself new shields. It looks like the save will be the call. Sulgi might go looking, and looks like she will. She's hunting, notes the turret, will fight the turret. But that will be all she finds. And she will actually note Morningstar with the 0 point. Could see a fight, looks like we won't. So Sod Gods with those big pushes with the lighter weaponry that came through on most of their players found some key picks. The pick on a Nolan kind of shut down some of the momentum that Team Positive relies on their attack side, some of that forward engagement. And the lurk from Sulgi, of course. Sulgi also finds it on the top of Catwalk as well. As we tie up the score, 5-5, 10 rounds in. Good match so far as Team Positive sets up for the B hit. Aki, they will get noted by the 0 point. Sod God's pretty aware that there's some substantial presence on the B side of the map. Ninjutsu holding tiles from the top of Cat. Doesn't see anybody yet though. Team Positive kind of just bottled up in B main at the moment. We'll see how they work their way out of this. They're going to have to fight through what's left of that wall. And Zinju's taking full control of mid. They know where this hit is coming, but can they stop it as the null command will come in, as will the lockdown. Sulgi and Yellow the Flower combined for 2, but 1 onto the KO. Milo's still here, looking to see if somebody goes for the res. We'll find, but Nolan's pushed up and gotten him first. So that leaves Dreamer, who can't find anything. Mystic Panda gets Cryo back on his feet as the spike's going to go down for Aki. Zinju will get noted by the alarm bot as well. This flank's not going to be as sneaky as he might have hoped. It's been noted and will get shot in the back by Nolan after he takes down Cryo. It might be possible for Zinju with that pick in a 1v3, but Nolan just blast packs into his face. Clean headshot, gets his 4th of the round, and if Nolan is starting to pop off, this map might start to quickly slip out of reach for the Sod Gods as he's on 15 and 8 now. As we look at some of those replays from the 10th round onto the 11th here, Nolan getting that clean flank and the nice last shot. As we will go into the last round of the first half, round 12. Sod Gods down 5-6. Definitely hoping for the last one here on their defensive side on Ascent. As the 0 point goes across. Good adaptation so far from Zinju, who's throwing that 0 point on A main a lot, and it wasn't finding very many players, so he started throwing it down towards tiles, and it's definitely found some players. Then as Milos finds Cryos on tiles and will teleport away or rendezvous out. Team Positive so far pretty committed to this B hit. They don't have a lot of map control, and they're definitely worried about it. You can see the drone, the owl drone being deployed really deep as it will scan out the middle of the map. Doesn't note anybody, but none of the players on Team Positive have moved yet. Now they've probably fully lost knowledge of who's there.
Suppressing. Enemy suppressed.
Milos holding B main will find Nolan, and that's again that entry power down for Team Positive as they fall down into a 3v5 off 2 1v1 kills for the Sod Gods. It's looking good
30 seconds left.
for the Grass Toucher's side here. As Team Positive just working each edge of the map right now, is trying to see if they can find anything. Sod Gods not giving them anything, playing really deep into sites. As from the shadows will come through. That's going to be canceled by Sulgi, and there's just no time now. They were really relying on that working. Aki will find a kill, and so will Mystic Panda. It makes it a 3v3. It actually makes it a 3v2, but there's just not any time here. Yellow the Flower is going to find Morningstar as they had to just dive into the B site even without enough time to plant. Another kill comes in post-round, but Team Positive just delayed a little too long, and when that teleport play didn't work, that from the shadows got canceled. There was no backup plan, and Morningstar, they can't run fast enough to the site, to either site. Time slips away from them, and that's going to be 6-6 on the half. As we look at some scores, Sulgi leading the way for the Sod Gods with 12, Milos with 9. Meanwhile, Nolan had 15, and I think Mystic Panda was on 14. So some big frags coming out of Team Positive, but still find themselves in this 6-6 tie. Sod Gods are setting up for the play here. Gonna have to push into the Killjoy and the Sova, not a duo I'd love to be pushing into. We'll see how they handle it.
Teleport's ready. Toaster is broken.
As Milos with a nice shot finds top of Cat. So that's a good first pick. Sulgi now scaling sight into B as Milos will get a shot just wide of a head there in the middle of the map. It looks like Zinju has gotten all the way to sight, but the rest of the Sod Gods are still behind as Zinju's dueling Mystic Panda in the back of the site. Sulgi will actually swing out and find Mystic Panda, so that should give the Sod Gods the sight if the spike can cross, and it can, so it'll go down.
Spike planted.
Yell the Flower and Milos holding A main, and Zenjutsu will find Aki, leaving just Morningstar and Nolan in this 2v5. Some low health players will look to find some quick frags. As the Berry Orb's gonna go up. Nolan, though, tapping away, finds Yellow the Flower. That's the first needed, but will get traded out by Dreamer. Morning Stars, they're going to have to go huge here as they will find the first on the low health Zinju. They're going to have to keep pushing. Not a lot of time left. Swings into Silgi, will go down. The Side Gods win the pistol in the second half and take a 7-6 lead, their first lead of the map. Remind everyone coming into this game, Team Positive has yet to drop a map. They are 8-0 so far in the VDC season coming into this third week of play. Side Gods down at 3-5, so this would be a bit of an upset even just to take this first map. Never mind both.
Bot coming back.
As we go into this round, it looks like it's going to be the the B play again, rather, out of Side Gods, as that recon dart's going to see everybody. 0 point, not sure if that caught anybody. I think it caught Morningstar, but nobody else, as Milos has actually walked up mid and will find the back of Morningstar's head, who is looking the other direction as the sight hit's starting to come in. Solgi's pushed way up. Zinju's going to find Aki. Solgi could go down the right clicks, but does not. Just ducks behind the wall. She'll find Mystic Panda. Nolan will find one sitting in this corner with the shorty, but will get wide swung by Solgi and will go down. So Cryo in 1v4, just a classic, has a flash point, or a flash drive rather. Breaks the door. 0 point goes in, walks out. Milos is standing there, ready to greet the last player for Team Positive. And Side Gods will convert with 4 alive, I believe. As that will send us into the bonus round, and Side Gods are actually going to have Zinju reinvest a full Phantom right now. We'll see if that holds coming into the round. Looks like he wants to stick with it. Set up for the A play right now, as it looks like Milos is going to go looking for a pick with this Marshall. Might even pull out the Headhunter. Nolan's starting to get aggressive in A main. He might be about to peek into 4, and he will. And he goes down to Zinju with the rifle, and that'll be another rifle as Silgi will pick that up. Side God's quick to push forward, but Team Positive even quicker to rotate, as it would be a 4-on-4 right now if the Side Gods elect to go into the site. It does look like Aki is going to potentially rotate away, so perhaps a 3-on-4 as the Lear goes in. Turret's going to go down. That's going to get the rotate coming back in as Silgi finds the first on the site. Will get the second. 2 huge entries, but Mystic Panda and Aki trade back for the 2-for-2. That'll make it a 3-on-2 as the spike will go down as we go into a retake. And this lurk of Milos could find something. Aki's going to find yellow. The flower, though, Milos might have to be moving quicker. Paranoia, I don't think saw anybody, and both these players are hiding in the smoke, but will it drop? Will Milos be able to get the last 2 as Mr. Panda and Aki jog on the site? They're going to find Dreamer. That leaves Milos in the 1v2. He finds the first. Aki's just beneath him. They're going to duck away. And it's the 1v1. Milos has to drop. He will. Aki tapping. She peeks around. Who's going to see who's back? It looks like Aki will find it. She gets the frag, and I think just the defuse. This is going to be really, really close. Just enough time. 0.12 Aki with the clutch. In that 2, they find the back of Milo's head, whose flank came just a little too late. Still, though, bonus round from the Side Gods.
Spike planted.
That was huge damage as we see Silgi swinging his pistol around, and just some of her kills from these first few rounds. Some big entries there got them sight. Milos just barely couldn't win this 1v1. Aki gets behind him, and they find the shots, putting us back at 8-7. Side God's still in the lead, and with the damage they did to the economy of Team Positive, there are some lighter weapons coming out as this fight between Nolan and Zinju was going to happen fast, and it's going to go in the favor of the Side Gods. And the Null command is now online if they want it. Instead, we'll get the Tour de Force for now, as the Side Gods make a big show of aggression in A main, but don't actually push to the site. where there are 3 players defending. And they're going running full tilt back through spawn. Sulgi throws a Leer to help Milos peek out with the Tour de Force in the top of Cat. That adventure into A main might solely have been for that purpose, as Milos gets fully flashed, has to rendezvous away, which he will do safely. The smoke is going to keep Mystic Panda from seeing anything, but that recon dart is going to give him vision, and he's going to find one. Meanwhile, a Nanoswarm finds another, so suddenly the numbers have flipped, and it's now 3-4, with Team Positive having more players on the board. Milos with this mid lurk, hoping to find somebody, will find Cryo.
Spike planted.
Evens the numbers as the spike gets planted, but Mr. Panda swings out and just gets a clean headshot onto Zinju. So now, once again, numbers back in favor of the defense as they start to rotate in. Milos is really far away as the defuse is coming through. A sight shot goes wide. Aki will swing. She finds the last kill. We're back to tied as Team Positive finds their 8th. Smart play by Team Positive to just get really aggressive on that retake. There was not enough defenders there to repel, or not enough attackers on site to defend the spike, I guess. They clean out the last 2. It forces Milos into an unwinnable situation where he's got to figure out how to hold from lane on his own. As you see, Aki has actually way jumped the leaderboard. They're at 19 and 8. She's really been having a lot of kills recently, and quite the match, as the Side Gods were set up pretty deep in spawn to start this round, so there's going to be a bit of a mid default, as Nolan's actually got a lot of pressure in A main off the back of that paranoia. Looks like he's going to give it up, though. Bit of a light buy out of Sod Gods here. I don't know if they fully invested, as I thought Cryo was about to walk out into the open with his knife out. Instead, just patrolling spawn for the moment. Bit of mid control for the Sod Gods. We'll see if they try to convert this into an A hit. It's where they've got more players right now, but it looks like they're actually leaning towards the B site. A lot of slow, patient play out of these 2 teams. As a reminder, these are Contender tier teams, which is our lowest tier here in the VDC. We have 4 tiers. These are mostly bronze Elo players. As Morningstar, they are set to receive Sulgi's peek and will go down as she finds the first frag of the round. The rest of the players start pouring into sight. Mystic Panda finds Zinju on the entry, and he finds a second as well as Sulgi finds Cryo. A couple more kills traded. It results in a 2v2 as the Sod Gods are going to get the spike down on site right after Yale the Flower grabs herself a rifle.
Spike planted.
And this could be pretty simple retake if they decide to invest a lockdown. As Dreamer notes both of their location, the lockdown could come down here, and I think it's going to right behind the boat. Bit of a traditional spot, and now Dreamer, who just used the From the Shadows, can't use it to dodge the lockdown. They're just going to fully wait it out, and unfortunate for the Sod Gods, I think they're both just going to get detained and probably just both going to go down. They're going to try to hide. They really can't. Nolan walks in, finds 2 heads. And Team Positive will get 9-8 on the board. Good use of the lockdown. Secures the round. If Dreamer had perhaps saved the From the Shadows, could have attempted to dodge the lockdown, but couldn't.
Need a drop.
He did not. So we're going to have a timeout coming in, called by the captain of the Sod Gods, as we get a replay of the start of the timeout. No, we get a replay of Aki with that clean 1v1, 0.12 second defuse. Zinju with this pick on Nolan in the 16th round. Mystic Panda's recon dart was huge later in that round, as well as that shot, which is absolutely nuts. And of course, Nolan finds 2 free heads in the back of sight who were detained, and very, very sad. So Team Positive back in the lead at 9-8 as we're about to go into round 18. Team Positive hoping to keep their undefeated map streak alive. They're the last undefeated team in the entirety of the VDC, not even just the Contender tier. They are 8-0 and looking to go 9-0 here if they can close this map out. As the timeout's going to wind down, we're going to go back into the buy phase. See what Sod Gods have cooked up in that timeout. And even still, let's see what, if Team Positive has whipped up anything in their timeout. Looks like Nolan's going to get aggressive and aiming again, and nobody will be there to receive him. So we'll see what they do with that information. As the Sod Gods hold way back, it looks like they want to wait out a recon dart that is yet to come through. As Nolan swings out, gets that control of A main. Definitely see a lot of one-site play from these two teams. Hard committals from before the round starts that they stick with through the end. And it looks like it's going to be no different for the Sod Gods here. They might just pop the null command and rip their way into site, and that looks like it's going to be the play as the null command comes through. They walk onto site. And nobody's really going to resist. I think Mystic Panda is still just tucked behind in spawn and will not swing, so the spike goes down. A lot of bullets are going to be thrown out. Milos, though, has gotten into this sneaky position and finds a second, 2 clean headshots. And suddenly this retake is 3v5, and that's huge for the Sod Gods in holding this site. B-site can sometimes be difficult to hold on the retake, but Milos just giving them a huge advantage. He's going to have to deal with Cryo now, who swings in, and Milos has found a third on the round. Could be on for the ace if he keeps looking. Mystic Panda and Aki, I think, might just be backing away to save at this point, as Milos has completely shut down this retake. I do think a few of the Sod Gods might die to the spike explosion, as Aki will actually shut down Milos finally. Spike goes off, and Zinju couldn't quite get away, so that's a gun loss, but a round 1 off the back of that Milos lurk. It was a really passive hold from Team Positive, and the null command just encouraged even more passivity. And Milos just threading the needle between players of Team Positive, finds Nolan, finds 2 more. Look at Aki at 21-8 now, Mystic Panda at 20-9. Nolan obviously still doing very well at 19-14, but a bit more of that aggression means a few more deaths per round. As we've got a bit of a split pressure, but it looks like A is the play, and this set play from Team Positive with the Omen Paranoia is going to come through again. It doesn't actually get anybody, and Nolan peeks and thinks it's clear. We'll see if that draws and he rotates towards the B side of the map, as it looks like we're about to have a fight on Catwalk, as Zinju is going to see Morningstar swing out, and he'll find their head cleanly. So let's see if that first pick prompts the push. It should, as Nolan would be the only one here to defend this, except for Aki, who's really deep. Will find Milos, but Zinju will find Nolan on site, so that should be site free and clear for the Sod Gods. Door starts to close as Team Positive recollects for the retake.
Spike planted.
Panda gonna use this recon dart early. It does note a player. They try to spam through the box. Can't get anything else to do with it. I think it might have been a bit early for that particular piece of utility, and I think the Owl drone's coming through next. We'll see if they get a tag if Mystic Panda, if he decides to rip with the Hunter's Fury. Does get the tag, can't pull out the Hunter's Fury though because he's suppressed, but he still does find one as Cryo's going to pop flash out and find Solgi, so suddenly this round starting to swing back in favor of Team Positive as another 1-for-1 goes down, and that leaves Yellow the Flower 1v2 to try to keep the spike from being diffused. It's going to be tapped by Mystic Panda. She's got a swing, and Aki with the better aim will take off her head.
You failed. Now flee.
And it'll put Team Positive just back in the lead at 10-9.
Ahead.
So numbers advantage went the way of the Sod Gods, but that Owl Drone tag and some other nice picks, a nice pop flash by Cryo finds a man advantage for Team Positive, and Yellow the Flower put into the unfavorable and unenviable position of having to 1v2 from that aiming position with the spike down. Harder to do than it looks as we go into this next round, and the Sod Gods full buy in here. are approaching A. Nolan's going to throw in the paint shells deep, and the paranoia comes through. Let's see, they're trying to punish this, but can they? Zinju goes down, so does Dreamer. So Nolan, despite the trap play from the Sod Gods, will actually find 2, will find 3, as Milo's just running through with a classic out. And now suddenly the Sod Gods are left with 2 alive and a mountain to climb in this round. Still, though, never out of reach. As the Sod Gods, it's just Sulgi and Yellow the Flower left alive. Looks like they're going to try this cat play, and they're going to walk into the Killjoy setup of Aki. We'll see how they handle this. Storm Grenade goes out. Yellow go jump peeking around the corner. She's going to go down. Aki finds the 4th Sod God of the round. Just leave Sulgi in the 1v5. She's going to run for it. Claim the spike. Goes for the duel against Aki, though. Better aim for them. So Team Positive finds their 11th off that nice play by Nolan and a clean follow-up to close out the round in flawless fashion. That'll put them on 11 on the scoreboard. And it could be 12 very soon here. The Sod Gods are probably going to do a bit of a save here. Milos might pull out the Tour de Force, always a threatening weapon, of course.
Get this? Thank you.
Otherwise, a pair of ghosts, a Marshal and a Sheriff looked like the buy. As Cryo, interestingly, has been set up in Pizza 2 rounds in a row now with the Judge. Might be an adaptation of that play from Milos earlier in the half. So he gets noted by the recon dart. And there comes that Tour de Force. No one's going to walk up and grab an orb here after briefly baiting. Really been farming this orb in A main. Helds and the Sod Gods aren't here very often, as Zenjutsu's gotten pretty deep in mid, and Cry looking the other way, so if someone walks up on it, well, he's got the Sentry turret to guard his presence. And Cryo actually fully just rips the Null command. Nolan's pushed way up A, but they've kind of forgotten about Catwalk because everyone else on Team Positive is rotated. Sod Gods haven't realized yet. Let's see if they do, as Nolan peeks out from the top of Cat, takes some damage, but will start to rotate away. Sulgi is meanwhile taking control of sight. She's wrapping around looking. There's going to be a fight in mid here as Nolan finds Yellow the Flower, looking for the head of Zenjutsu, but can't find it. That might have actually just been spamming through the wall. That looked very accurate, though, as the spike does go down. Cryo still hasn't moved. Cryo's still just lurking in mid. Finally, we'll rotate with the Judge. And this is going to be a big fight in A main between Nolan and Milos. Milos gets away with the Rendezvous, takes a lot of damage, but you think he's got to get that kill if they want any chance of winning this round. As the retake starts to come in, Morningstar, they drop into sight. They're going for the spike defuse immediately. Milos has been suppressed. Good team play there out of Team Positive. Cryo has actually found 2 with the Judge. Aki will find the last. Somehow this turns a flawless round. They only get 6 seconds left to defuse, but they get it through anyway. That was a fast retake and a efficient one at that. A nice 0 point came across from Cryo that shuts with the Tour de Force, gave Nolan the chance to swing and get that kill. And I think with Milos down, that round was sealed no matter what else had happened on site. Either way, Cryo finds 2 with the Judge as well. They close out the round, and they're now on map point as they look to win their 9th map of the season out of 9, continuing to try to stay perfect, as this Hunter's Fury actually might be late, as it's actually forced some dodges, but Sulgi's just running it down. She's going to find Mystic Panda. That's a big pick. Door's going to close. We'll see if Cryo tries to push that with the Judge. I think he's going to think better of it and actually almost stays around a little too long. Just pokes his head out. So 5v4 in favor of Sod Gods around. They have to hold. They're all on site. Nolan popping the Showstopper, doesn't find anything, but clears out a lot of space in A main. All these players are pinned on site. It's just going to be a full-fledged turret defense. And uh-oh. That's not great. Cryo's gonna go jumping into sight, but the Sod Gods have to do something, and they have to do it now. That lockdown's about to drop. One more second. It's gonna find one player. Dreamer managed to dodge it, but it's not gonna matter. Dreamer goes down. The lockdown strikes again. Team Positive takes map 1 and continues their undefeated streak here in Contender. So a fun first map, very back and forth in the early going. Team Positive finally broke away there at the end. And they close it out 13-9. Huge performances by Nolan and Aki as Team Positive will go up 1-0 on Ascent. And we're going to go to break here. We'll be back in about 7 minutes for what I think is map 2 of Icebox.
Watch me as I go. Settle up both ways before you cross me, baby, 'cause I don't break for boys. I'm moving on. Hey, hey, I'm moving on. Hey, got nothing left to say. Let's be on my way. Best of luck. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Both ways before you cross me, baby, 'cause I don't break for boys. Hey, hey, I'm moving on. Hey, got nothing left to say. Let's be on my way. Best of luck. I'm moving on. Got nothing left to say. Let's be on my way. Best of luck. I'm moving on. Got nothing left to say. Let's be on my way. Best of luck. I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
One enemy remaining. Spike down, B. One enemy remaining.
When you put your hand in my jacket, I'm thinking so irrational. You flew me international now. We can spend hours reading the signals, but that's so unoriginal. What if we took this back to my house? Under all these lights, I gotta take a minute to calm down. But I feel like if I told you I was ready right this minute, do you think that it would turn you on? I just feel like you need to know. If I told you I was ready right this minute, would you just run off and tell someone? I just feel like you need to know. I don't wanna feel like we're wasting time. Tell me, should I go and call up a taxi? We can make out foreplay in the backseat. Please tell me now how that all sounds. You can sleep in while I make breakfast, watch cartoons and talk about exits. And if you're happy, stick around. I just feel like this is worth the risk. I never felt a fire like this. If I told you I was ready right this minute, do you think that it would turn you on? I just feel like you need to know. If I told you I was ready right this minute, would you just run off and tell someone? I just feel like you need to know. Right here, right now, we're running out of things to talk about. Right here, right now, I'm about to let the truth come out. If I told you I was ready right this minute, do you think that it would turn you on? You tell me now. If I told you I was ready right this minute, would you just run off and tell someone? Keep my feet on the ground. If I told you I was ready right this minute, I just wanna go and lay you down. I just feel like you need it's clear. If I told you I was ready right this minute, would you just run off and tell someone? To know. If I told you I was ready right this minute, do you think that it would turn you on?
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion.
Enemy remaining.
Every time, every night, you and I on a roll.
One enemy remaining.
Switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run.
All right, and welcome back to the VDC. We have just seen map 1 of this 2-game set between Sad Gods and Team Positive. Map 1 was Ascent. It went in the favor of Team Positive in 13-9 fashion. Big performances by Nolan, Aki, and Mystic Panda carried that team across the finish line. I believe we are about to get into map 2, which I caught a glimpse of. I think it was Icebox. Again, nobody told me before the stream started what the maps were. Big ups to... It is Icebox. Okay. Thank you to production. This is a bit of my fault. I was recording another match that we will be streaming on a later date. Before this one, we were very crunched for time. Anyway, we're about to get into Icebox for map 2. As soon as the lobby is ready, we will get into Agent Select. Too much League of Legends coming through there for me. And we'll see this time if Sad Gods can manage to pull through the upset. They almost did it in map 1. Kept it close late, but eventually fell behind and just couldn't recover. As Team Positive now 9-0, undefeated so far in the season. Almost starting to wonder if they will manage to be undefeated through the first round of the round robin. There are 8 teams in Contender, and they all play each other twice, so 14 total matches. This is match 1 between Sad Gods and Team Positive on the season, as Team Positive is trolling their picks. They are all hovering duelists. Now they're just all hovering Reyna. Nolan is already locked in the race, so we know that's coming through for sure. No locks from Sad Gods, as soon as I speak, I cast or curse them into locking in 2-3 of their agent picks. We'll see the KO here. The Reyna again from Sulgi, and Yellow the Flower will swap to Viper. We'll see if they go without a Sage. It looks like
Select
they're
your
playing
agent.
as Team Positive finally hovers a real composition. They're also going to be Sageless. It looks like Viper walls are going to be the modus operandi here. No Sage walls for safe plants, which is a huge thing we see on Icebox a lot. These two teams taking it a different direction. And we're going to load in here again with the matching logos, or the matching pride icons. Very lovely. We'll see which of these two teams can take map 2. Team Positive up 1-0 on this 2-game set. 9-0 so far. Side Gods at 3-6. We'll see if they can squeak out, not even squeak out, just take map 2. They don't have to squeak it to win it. And finally shut down Team Positive's win streak. It's going to be a bit of an uphill climb, I'd have to think. This Team Positive has been very strong. They've shown a lot of good stuff. Huge frag numbers came out of 3 of their players in the last map. And you got to figure they've got to find a way to shut down Nolan, Aki, and Mystic Panda. All 3 are fully capable of pulling off multi-kill rounds, and they all did in that last map, some even in the 1vx fashion to clutch out rounds. Sod Gods managed to keep it close, of course, going down 13-9 as we come into Icebox, our second and final map of this set. Interested to see a Killjoy out of the side of Team Positive. No Killjoy for the Sod Gods. Pretty substantial differences in the compositions here, actually. Chamber, the only shared agent between the two teams, and Viper, of course. As Side Gods will start on the defensive side. Nolan, for Team Positive, going to start taking space in mid. Milos going to attempt to shoot at the alarm, at the boombot. It gets away. Shots exchanged. Nobody goes down. Nolan gets some damage in, but just a little. As Solgi on Nest and B is about to be pinched pretty hard, though. Nolan actually can't get up too cleanly. There was a trademark there. Catches his push. Spike goes down all the same, though. And now it's post-plant for Team Positive. 5v5 retake. Very minimal damage done. And Nolan is holding this deadly lurk position, but he misses onto Dreamer, so Dreamer gets away. Mystic Panda will find the first onto Solgi, though, and Cryo finds a second. Trade's going in the favor of Team Positive. Trade's really going in the favor of Team Positive. They're going to close that round out, and fast. Mystic Panda finds 3 very quick kills in succession. That closes out the round. They're going to take the first round here, go up 1-0 again, like they did on Ascent, taking that first pistol. We're going to buy up. Dreamer. Attempting to jump onto the box. Gets it the second time.
Caution here. I need to blow something up.
Looks like a heavy mid presence is the plan for Team Positive. They've got Nolan on this sort of lurking role again that he was on Ascent. Often playing the other side of the map. He does exert a lot of pressure on his own. He's been a huge fragger. Came into this series plus 100 across just 8 maps. As Solgi's going to run into the entire team of Team Positive. She goes down. Zenjitsu, though, with the right clicks, finds one. Gets a lot of damage onto Morningstar. And they go down as well to Yellow the Flower. So now it's a 3v3. The superior guns are in the hands of Team Positive, but they're having trouble finding frags. Dreamer gets some right clicks off, but goes
Spike
down,
planted.
so Spike will as well. So 2v3 retake, Milos with the Headhunter, 2 bullets. Yellow the Flower on 60 HP or so.
Remaining.
As they're just going to both peek out, go down 1 each. Nolan and Aki pick up some kills. Slightly less clean than the conversions we saw in the first map, both keeping 4 players alive, but Team Positive will keep alive 3. And should comfortably look to bonus here, though I do see a Phantom looming in an inventory. Might opt to sell that back.
Yeah.
Settle for something less aggressive on their bonus round. As Zin's going to go for the big jump. Very hard jump to make. One more attempt. So close. we've got a middle push coming out from Sulgi and Milos, both pop shots off. Now they've split the attacking side in half pretty cleanly. We've got 3 on the B side, 2 on the A. They're going to have to retake that little mid area as Zin's going running forward. Zinji's going to get whiffed on by Nolan. He'll get some shots that direction, but no kill. Finally going to go for this orb. Nolan swings out again. Gets a lot of damage with the tag from the Marshal, as now Zinji's got to reconsider. Starts to push up. Nolan's kind of aware that this could be a possibility. Zinji's all the way up here. Meanwhile, Dreamer is just walking around beneath Nolan, who sees his head. Shoots him in the back. It'll take 2, but it's enough. Aki, in the meantime, has also found the Omen player. And Mystic Panda just runs over Yellow the Flower. She can't hold even with the better weapon. Sulgi will see neither player catches Nolan
30
crossing,
seconds
so it's going to be a 2v4
Spike
retake.
planted.
As Sulgi and Milos are going to have to find a way to retake this, or else Team Positive is going to convert the bonus. Snakebite comes in. It's going to keep Milos from swinging out. They're just so not aware of where Nolan might be. They're very worried. You can see them constantly looking back the other direction, clearing towards kitchen. They think he might have lurked up there. As Cryo gets a nice headshot onto Milos, that's going to leave Sulgi in the 1v4. She finds 1, but can't find more. Team Positive gets their round. Nolan got 1 on the lurk, but there were some very good kills to get onto the B site, finding the players behind Yellow, finding Yellow the Flower behind Yellow, actually. And that'll force the Sod Gods onto another light buy, as Team Positive's economy is now very, very much rolling into this 4th round of the map, of Map 2. Map 1 was Ascent, which, as you can see, Team Positive took in 13-9 fashion. As they look to an early lead here, as they start to pressure towards the A site. Milos with a nice headhunter shot finds the first from his E-box position, gets a tag as well. Onto Morningstar. They're going to drop 50 hit points lower, but still very much alive. And with the rifle in hand, a bit more threatening,
Caution
as Nolan also finds Milos. So 4v4 now. Nolan could just creep out. Actually, on top of that position, would have to walk all the way, drop down. Brown is slowed down. Sulgi seems she's pressed up under the tube. I'm not sure if she actually has line of sight. She does have line of sight into the spawn. Sometimes the game's cones get a little confused. As Aki swings out. An exchange of bullets. So far, so good for both sides. Nobody's going down. Sulgi still has an angle. We'll still know if they rotate, as Aki and Morningstar are having a bit of face-to-face time. Zinjitsu, though. Zinji will find Nolan. And Sulgi's going to catch this cross, at least visually. She's going to go down. But now the Sod Gods know. And Team Positive does not have a lot of time here. There's only 12 seconds on the clock. If Yellow the Flower can delay the plant at all, this round could be sacrificed. Mystic Panda's just sprinting up to get the spike down. It looks like he will. So spike goes down. That puts us in a 2v3. Still superior weapons for Team Positive and some low health members of Sod Gods. I'm not even sure there's 150 health between all 3 of them, as Mystic Panda swings, finds 1, finds 2. That's going to leave Dreamer, finds 3 for Mystic Panda. Round goes to Team Positive. It got very worrying, very close, but Mystic Panda, huge cleanups, and he has put the team up 4-0. Had a huge performance in the first map, especially in the first half of Ascent. And I believe already off to quite the hot start. Next time we get a peek at the scoreboard, that'll have to be something to take note of, though, I'm ssure. There it is, 8-1. Very good start for Mystic Panda. 3 frags in that round, as we're going to see the buy come through for Sod Gods, just their second buy of the game. An important one. So you don't want to go down 5-0, and you certainly do not want to go down 6-0, which would probably happen as they'd be forced onto another lighter buy as Sulgi is going to get naded out of position.
Shadows traveling.
As Sulgi will find the first. She will back away. Dreamer on the crossfire finds Morningstar. So that's 2 for Sod Gods as this round's starting to look good for them. Mystic Panda could pull the trigger right now and would find one as the Hunter's Fury finds Sulgi out of Cryo. Cryo just running through the poison or the toxic screen.
One enemy remaining.
Finds one, but Dreamer will find one more. Zinju was on, I believe, a fast flank as well. Cleans up the last kill. So Sod Gods get on the board with a pretty convincing round. I think they kept 4 alive there.
That's a good
Team Positive, aggressive push onto A, but the picks didn't go their way. Sulgi with that nice angle for the first, and the nice crossfire baits in the second. Trade could not come through, so Side Gods into their 6th round, looking to build on something here. They have not broken Team Positive's economy by any means. That conversion of the bonus, huge in that regard, should keep the attacking side flush with cash for a while, as that 0 point's going to note at least one player. It might have also caught Morningstar there in the back. That's backed away. And Zinju going to spot the head of Morningstar. Nice shot! They flick up to his head and he'll go down. Nolan lurking up tube, about to walk into a trademark. We'll just break it. Presence noted, but presence not dealt with, though Milos is going to find one onto Aki, who I think got the Tour de Force out. Milos is going to find 2 on long. Those are big picks, as Nolan's in their spawn. And he's going to find the back. Oh, Dreamer's head. Yes, there it goes. Gets the kill. Sulgi also has lurked up into an interesting position herself. Should find the kill onto Morningstar as they're not looking, and they won't look.
One enemy remaining.
Meanwhile, Cryo's just trading out kills on the other side of the map. Nolan and Sulgi in a 1v1 here, as Nolan's got to win it, got to get the spike. Jumps across to the rope, takes fall damage. Saw Sulgi's head, but I don't think either of them realize it. Nolan's creeping forward. He's pretty much out of time here, and without a head as well. Sulgi will just flick down to it. Nice, easy shot for her. Some 2 nice lurk kills from taking nest control late. Nolan thought he was the master lurk there, pushing all the way into defender spawn, but can't end up finding but the one. And the spike goes down on transition to A site. It's enough for Sod Gods to take their 2nd round. If they fight back into this, and Milos has the Tour de Force here, we'll see if he pulls it out. Looks like he's planning to. I think he only has a classic to speak of. And there it will come through as the aggression is heading towards the A site. We've got a swarm of Team Positive players starting to push through. It looks like they're going to be repelled. I do think, yes, the null command came out of the defense, and as did the Empress get popped, as Sulgi's going to find Nolan. There's actually some lesser guns on the side of Team Positive, who had a lot less money than I thought they did. I really thought that they'd be able to roll more money. Shame on me for not really catching that, as Sulgi finds Mystic Panda on the rotation. That's a nice pick and a nice shot. Headshot at long range. Milos now here to defend the A push, though going to get noted by the recon dart. Trademark is going to slow this push down. He's holding the off angle from bridge. And Team Positive's kind of stuck. They've got to figure out how to scale closer. They've got to just take some fights. As Cryo tries and goes very low. Milos is going to peek around, finds Morningstar looking the other direction. Aki, meanwhile, will find one, but it's still not enough to get spiked down by any means. Going to have to face peek into Milos, will go down. Milos finds the last one as well. That Tour de Force comes through in a big way, as the biggest gun in the game takes down 3. And the Sod Gods pull it back to 3-4. They're just 1 round away from tying this, though Team Positive with the economy to buy back into this round. and even enough money that they've given Nolan the operator. Raze, an interesting pick on Icebox and an interesting weapon for the Raze. We're going to see that operator, and by no means should the operator be solely gated to just 1 or 2 agents in the game, but Raze certainly not a common pick with it. We'll see what he can do as he starts to aggress up onto Belt. He's not going to find anyone on the angle he's looking. They're slowly taking A main control as Sinju's just walked down B. Found some visual contact. That 0 point I thought would be too high, but shows what I know. Tags 1 player in B main. Still just a default hold for Sod Gods as Nolan continues to look for a pick with the operator. Aki, they are right behind him.
I'm watching here.
A lot of these rounds have been decided in the first flurry of exchanges who can get the numbers. And we'll see how that plays out this round. Team Positive obviously have it going for them in the first few rounds as we're going to see the first duel come through, but Rendezvous always good for getting away from certain death, as Nolan actually finally finds that kill he was looking for on the other side of the map. Lockdown's coming through. Yellow the Flower had a chance to get Mystic Panda, doesn't, but Cryo goes down eventually, and another Nolan's going to die on the other side of the map, as that lurk doesn't really come to fruition, other than the first pick. So now the Sod Gods retake 3v3, and I'm going to have to dislodge them from this position. Yellow the Flower, though, has snuck by, but we'll get noted. It's going to shoot Morningstar in the back. We'll get traded out, so now a 2v2 retake, but Killjoy utility down could be huge. Mystic Panda with the gun out, though Zinju will find him, and Aki will go down. Is there enough time for the defuse? Looks like there will be, as it will come through. 0.84, Dreamer gets it, and it's tied up at 4-4. Another good fight coming in from Sod Gods as they've roared back to tie this game after dropping the first 4 rounds. Might have even forced Team Positive back onto an eco. We'll see if we get a quick look at their finances anytime here. But either way, some nice rounds, and it does look like, yeah, that's a bargain bin buy. Mystic Panda could probably afford to invest a little bit more, but might be saving some extra cash to toss an operator in the direction of a particular Raze player who is walking up middle a little slowly just to avoid the 0 point, as this is just a full tube push. This is a tube rush. As Zinju is going to rotate around, almost gets caught with the fragment out, has to just dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge away. Manages to, as Nolan's just rushing onto site, trying to find Yellow the Flower in the Viper's Pit, gets some damage, but can't get the kill with the Showstopper. As Yellow the Flower will eventually find him. Sod Gods are all in this kitchen hallway. They had to figure out how to get out of here. They got control of kitchen as Dreamer's going to walk into a bit of a blender, goes down to Cryo. Spike will actually go down as Silgi finds Cryo, so Team Positive gets the spike down, but they've still got to find a way to get out of these positions. Morningstar, they're trying to get interesting with it, rotates around, we'll find Silgi looking the other way. 2 taps to the body, we'll find that one, but Zinju trades, it's gonna leave Morningstar in the 1v3, they go down. Milos cleans up the last. Took a while to get that spike down, and when it did, the trade started coming through, and with the better weapons, Sod Gods find the round. That Viper's Pit helped keep Team Positive from getting very good positioning. And Yellow the Flower, I believe, had to step out to find the kill onto Nolan, but a key pick nonetheless. Team Positive obviously trying to find other angles to hold the spike from than just all being grouped in a kitchen hallway. They end up running amok, looking for angles. Can't really find any. They all go down. Now 5 in a row for Sod Gods. And Team Positive is bankrolled a little bit because they went for the lighter buy last round, so they should be good to buy even if they drop this one, but you have to assume, well, of course they're hoping not to. Try to get back into the win column as they've dropped 5 in a row, as Nolan, once again, kind of this lurk roll pressuring A. Might get into a duel with Sulgi here in a second. She's got a nice angle. Looks like he'll just choose to back up as we got another play coming through tube. Zinju at the top of it, holding it. See, they walk into him and both players swing and Mystic Panda gets the frag, so that will start to signal the push. This is such a weird angle for Milos, but it's going to work for the first. That's actually going to get the Viper's pit down as Aki finds Yellow the Flower lurking in B main. Milos pops off one more shot, tries to teleport away, but the waiting Aki behind Yellow will find him.
Spike planted.
So Dreamer and Sulgi will now be left on the retake, and this is one of those weird one Viper's pits. It gets all of the kitchen hallway. Dreamer just got headshot and is taken very low. There's even an operator. This is probably going to be impossible as the From the Shadows will come out. They're going to see if they can do anything with that. Sulgi barely doesn't get noted by Aki. Her position is, of course, known. Dreamer on this flank. It's being held with the operator, but Nolan's going to turn the other direction. Sulgi finds one onto Aki. Nolan whiffs. Tries to swing out again. They're going to find two frags, but I think the time is just run out here. That Viper's pit and that plant spot really difficult to find. The turret of Morningstar actually finds Dreamer instead of Morningstar themselves. And Viper goes down to the spike explosion. So 4 die for Team Positive. But like I said, they had some money coming into that round, and the win bonus is certainly going to help as they tie the score up at 5-5 with 2 consecutive plays through the tube. The second of which does come to fruition. That Viper's pit, again, so hard to work back through that. I'm not sure how you can really manage to re-secure the round there. Just fully losing control of Kitchen with the spike being planted on the bridge like that. It's very, very difficult to defuse once that thing goes down if you don't clear the entire attacking side. As it looks like Tube is not their target this time, setting up for an A play. Early utility comes through. This Alt drone is re-clearing mid. It'll allow Nolan to cross, who might be looking to lurk, or might be trying to spearhead a rotation. And it looks like Nolan's just going to hold flank for now. He might still have that operator. Actually, he died with it last round, so unless he bought a new one, which I don't think they could afford to do, he should not. Team Positive looks prepared to push. Sulgi pops Empress, and here it comes. Sulgi's going to find the first on a cryo. She dismisses away, swings out. Zenjutsu will help her get the second onto Morningstar. She dodges away. The dismisses are coming through. No frags have gone in the way of Team Positive. Mystic Panda will find Sulgi and immediately go down to the snake bite, and that leaves Nolan in a 1v3. We'll see if he can clutch this up. He's got 20 seconds. He's got to start making his move if he's going to go for this play. Streamer on the top of Rafter with the operator finds Nolan.
Last round before the switch.
Sod Gods secure the 6th round. 6-5 now. Their streak was broken, but still a good half so far. We'll see if they can take a 7-5 lead. As again, the Sod Gods look to be the first team to take a single map off of Team Positive, who are 9-0 so far. Of course, 4-0 in match score in these best of 2 matches or 2 game sets. As they look to secure 10 in a row to start the season. These are contender tier teams again. Our lowest skill tier in the VDC, primarily bronze elo and thereabouts. As the hit starts to come towards B, Milos with a clean headshot finds the first. So that's going to slow things down. I think they were hoping to use that Hunter's Fury to gather some space, but with their player down, Team Positive has to recollect their thoughts as Sulgi is once again lurked into this next position. She's the only one holding A, but with that forward position, she can afford to be. Torta first comes out. Mystic Panda's crept all the way up and has to just emergency run away. All 4 players now for Team Positive grouped up around Yellow. Zinju swings out and finds Nolan with a headshot. So that leaves 3 alive as they're once again stalled. They haven't found any picks. They can't progress on a site. There's 4 players here, and Solgi's holding their flank as well. This is very, very difficult for Team Positive to fight out of, but they're going to have to try as shots start to get traded out. Mystic Panda was looking for Milos there behind Snowman, but can't. And that's a nice flashbang. That actually gets Aki, who's very low.
Down.
Zinju will eventually find Mystic Panda instead. Morningstar goes down, or gets 1 on a trade on Zinju, but last alive, just enough of that yellow jacket peeks out for Dreamer. Side Gods take the round from that first pick by Milos to the last kill. Just really slowed down Team Positive. They couldn't push up together. Didn't feel safe without the Soviet utility, so the sides flip and Side Gods take a 7-5 lead into the half. Pretty good position for them. If they can secure this pistol round, I think they will be in a really good spot to take this map and be the first team to shut down Team Positive, as Milos is pinging the very far away mountains. So we'll see what kind of play they go for on this pistol. I think this is a really, really big pistol for them. If they can convert this, and of course the following round, 9-5 up, huge odds for them to take this the rest of the way. If they drop it though, we could be looking at a tie and then a lot more work to do for the Side Gods as they look to take a map off Team Positive. And they start to push through. It's going to be under and through tube. Solgi's already gotten under. Cryo, though, finds Milos looking the other direction, and he's going to find Solgi looking the other direction, too, but can't get the shots off before she slips away. But she does go down to Aki, who is back of Snowman. They've also got a player on yellow, and suddenly now the Side Gods are in an interesting position, and they're actually just going to fully pull away all the way back towards their spawn. I guess they're going to loop back to A, but they've given up all the map control they worked so hard for. And that should allow Team Positive to rotate if they can catch wind of what's happening. It looks like they might just. Nolan and Aki, 2 of the star players for this Team Positive team, are rotating back. Zinju's gotten onto site. Nolan has a shorty, which does find a kill. Okay. Finds a second kill, too, because of course it would. Nolan making the shorty work in these pistol rounds. That leaves Yellow the Flower with a 1v4 clutch in front of her, and the spike is not down. Nolan will go for the ghost. And Yellow the Flower has to duel 2 at once. Can't even find the first. Will go down. It is now 7-6. Team Positive with a big pistol round win looks set to tie this map.
Teleport's ready.
So round 14 here should be in the favor of Team Positive, but with a Headhunter and some nice classic shots, you never know what might happen. Not much investment here out of Side Gods, however, so they'll have to make the best of what they can. That hurts their chances. I think that grenade did max, or that paint shells did maximum damage to both players there. Solgi will note the turret and has to back away. Milos, though, might get an opportunity. Takes a second to line up the shot, but does get the clean headshot with the Headhunter onto Mystic Panda. As the spike's starting to go down. Nolan in a weird off angle, though. Finds 1, finds 2. I'm not sure where exactly he was playing, but it worked out for him. He finds a 3rd. Cryo is going to find the 4th of the round. So despite the pick by Milos, it looks like this round should calm down for Team Positive off a nice play by Nolan. Milos, a lot to do if he wants to secure this one. He and Nolan have passed each other in the night, as you do.
30
But
seconds
the rest
left.
of the team seems content to hold this. We'll see if they hear the placement of the rendezvous anchors. Might not have yet. Milos looking, drops down. That's unfortunate, just as he caught sight of Aki's head. She'll find him, though. 4 up for Team Positive as they win both pistols on Icebox to put themselves back into a tied position here. And Side Gods are going to go for their timeout. So tactical timeout coming through from Sod Gods as they go into the bonus round of Team Positive. A round they should be favored in the Sod Gods with the better weapons. They're definitely going to hope to convert. Conversion here would be very important. As we take a look at some replays, Zenjutsu could have gotten so many there. It gets a little unlucky. So we are looking at some first half replays here. Yellow the Flower here with the duel against Aki in that fourth round. That did go the way of Team Positive, and this is where the comeback starts. Although Morningstar gets that nice shot, but Sulgi's lurk later in the round leaves Nolan with very little time and very little idea of where she's gotten off to. That started the trend for Sod Gods that got them through this half. They won 4, maybe 5 in a row here. They did win 5 in a row until that Viper's Pit came out. And then Sulgi with a nice play on the A site. They shut down the take and end up winning crucial round 11 and a big round 12 to go out 7-5 at the half. Team Positive, though, fighting their way back into it already, win the pistol and convert their second. Looking to see what they can do on their bonus. 7-7 here, as the undefeated Team Positive looks to maintain their pristine 9-0 record, including map 1 of this set, which was Ascent. But Sulgi will find the first pick onto Aki, will find the second pick onto Mystic Panda. 2 huge kills from Sulgi will open up the B site, should get the spike down as it looks like Nolan's going to get shot in the back here by Milos, will go down. So that just leaves Cryo and Morningstar try to clean up a 2v5. They can't even find one. It's a flawless first gun round of the half out of Sod Gods. Should get their economy in a pretty good spot. I'm pretty sure, yeah, a fair few number of those players didn't even take that much damage. This Team Positive will buy into their first full gun round of the second half. And this is a pivotal round. This round goes to favor of the Sod Gods, then Team Positive will probably be flat broke. Aki not particularly close to the Tour de Force, so won't have that to fall back on. Most likely. And that could propel the Sod Gods to get to their 10th round. And 10-7 up gives them favorable odds to take this map, but they've got to get there first. As it looks like mid and B pressure is the name of the game here. Team Positive, on their side, seem to have caught some wind of this. Nolan is the only player actually defending A side. His Mystic Panda is just going to flee off of yellow.
Poison's off.
As Nolan finds Milos through mid, that's going to shut down the mid play, but let's see how the A play goes. As Sulgi has walked through the toxic screen and will find the first. Zinju's going to go up into the rafters. Mystic Panda throws some shots from Snowman, but Zinju finds 2. Cryo will finally trade it out, but it's a 2v3. Make that a 1v3. Make that a 3v9. As Sulgi and Dreamer clean up the last 2, and Sod Gods take their 9th of the round and force Team Positive onto what I can only imagine must be a pretty light eco here. Though it's always hard to tell when there's so many icons on the screen. It doesn't look like Team Positive's buying too much into this. A Spectre or 2 maybe. Sod Gods with some nice picks by Sulgi. Again, she's been getting a lot of good entries onto the sites in both maps, but especially this map too. Opening sites up, so despite the first pick going the way of Team Positive in mid as Milos went down to Nolan, Sod Gods cracked open the B site and got the spike down. So, Team Positive on the save, resorting to everyone's favorite tactic of shorty around corners. Sulgi's going to find another pick. It's like 3 first bloods in a row for her, at least for her team. Maybe not 3 in the round. But the spike's actually going towards A, which is abandoned. As Sulgi's mere presence and that pick, of course, draws the light weapons of the defense over. Of course, they're going to try to stack to try to make the most out of their pistols, see if they can get some trades, get some guns into a post plant, perhaps. Instead, a 4v5 post plant, make that a 3v5 as they start to push back in. Dreamer and Mystic Panda fighting, trying to bend bullets around that thick metal wall. Both take a lot of damage, but neither goes down as Cryo's starting to rush back in. 2 players low for Team Positive, make that 1 player as one of them goes down. Cryo will find Dreamer, but Zinju has jumped out onto Rafter, finds one. Aki now alone in a 1v3, and time is starting to run out. Doesn't have a lot of time to get on the spike. Just drop in with the shorty. Pulls out the headhunter, but not fast enough. Milos will find the other chamber. As Sod Gods go up 10-7. So, as I said 2 rounds ago, that round that propelled Sod Gods to 9-7, that 16th round, has proven to be pretty big. It's got them up 10-7 on the doorstep of match point here. And we now see a bit of a crucial round, but only for Team Positive. They really need to convert this if they're going to maintain a hold in this map. The economy is probably not in a much better state than it was previously. Obviously, maximum loss bonus helps a little, but it only helps you buy Spectres instead of Sheriffs in some cases. As we will see the timeout out of Team Positive, they're going to talk it through a little bit. As how is that box not falling? And what happens if a Radiant box falls? Do those things explode on impact? Actually, they take bullets, so probably not. As again, Team Positive looking to talk through this next round, and it's a big round for them, round number 18. If they drop this one, they're going to be staring down the barrel of map point at least very shortly, and dropping the first map of the season. We'll see if they can pull through. As the Sod Gods, I imagine most of their conversations were, yeah, Solgi, just keep killing the first person you see. It's been working. As she has absolutely been shredding heads of Team Positive's players the past several rounds. And it looks like Solgi go kill, well, that might be a simplification, is certainly been effective early in this half. She's once again leading the charge into the B site, looking for a head to pop. And the null command's also going to come out. Hunter's Fury being shot from far enough away that will not get canceled out, but they are going to take a lot of distance onto the site. Solgi has walked way up, looking for the first, finds it. As she has been doing this whole half, that should buy enough space for the spike to go down, as Yellow the Flower is going to walk up with it. Zinju tries to go up into heaven, or Nest will go down. That Showstopper actually delays the spike plan. Yellow the Flower has to fall back, but Solgi will find Cryo, but now 2 trades go in favor of Team Positive, and Milos on the lurk is the last alive. So some nice utility use. Forces Sod Gods back. Milos, though, finds... Nolan finds Mystic Panda. Aki, thankfully, on the right angle to trade those. That got worrying suddenly in a 1v3. Nevertheless, Team Positive convert the round they desperately needed. So losing 4 players is going to put them in a bit of a bind economically again. You can see a Spectre coming through. Thankfully, they have the Tour de Force to fall back on, because Aki will pop that for herself. And it's going to be dueling Tour de Forces here, perhaps, or not. The Viper's Pit also is going to be dropped by Mystic Panda, as Aki wins the Tour de Duel. The Duel de Force? I'll have to think on that one. But wins the fight regardless. Takes down Milos, so first pick goes in favor of Team Positive. And it looks like the push is coming into this Viper's Pit, and Cryo's holding this with a judge. This is going to be a rough push. They're all vulnerable. Shots are whiffed, but Zinju's looking the wrong direction. And that's going to force Sod Gods to rotate. Nolan's going to go look to cut this off. Might not be the best decision. He's going to walk into Solgi, but he will win the duel anyway, so it works out. If he'd gone down, gives a bit of odds back to the Sod Gods. Instead, gets the pick onto Solgi. And this Tour de Force here. Dreamer just walks out and actually doesn't get hit, though will get tagged through the box. Now very low. Shooting range is open, but the shots aren't quite coming through. Nolan's just going to peek out as the Viper's Pit's going down. Yellow the Flower is now left in a very difficult 1v5. That Paint Shells pushes her back even further. She's going to have to go huge here if she wants any chance in this round. She's starting to creep forward. She
10
finds the
seconds left.
first, but I don't think there's really a chance. She didn't even click as she walked over it, just missed. So with about 4 seconds left, that should seal the round. Bullets are going to start coming her way. She tries to walk out to find Cryo at least, but goes down to yellow the, or goes down, will yellow the flower. Round 19 goes to Team Positive as they're working their way back in towards a tie, 1 round away. Side Gods have plenty of money though, so it won't be cakewalk. No ecos coming through quite yet. It's Team Positive starting to turn the momentum back in their favor. You can see Side God's money is depleted. Solgi and Milos both with big performances on this map, 19 and 18 kills respectively. That duo has been doing work for the team. Solgi especially, of course, I've been noting those first bloods. She's had quite a few this round, though her streak was a bit interrupted last round, I do believe. As the Sod Gods start to look for pressure towards the A site, and a bit of pressure on B long as well. They're really playing some split pushing here. As Solgi is going to take full control of Maze. Spike's not rotating in this direction yet. And Morningstar doesn't know they're there. This alarm bot's actually about to see Solgi, so that's gonna actually draw rotations. So Mystic Panda goes down, and now they're gonna rotate back. Dreamer actually wins that duel with Morningstar. He took a lot of damage off the rip, but Cryo's gonna find Zinju, and that's actually just, yeah, Side Gods are gonna make the right decision and take the spike towards A, where they've already got full site control. Spike should go down, but the retake should be able to come in quickly, though Solgi on this angle could just walk down like 2 more steps, and we'll see Nolan, but loses the duel. So that's a big pick. Team Positive evens the numbers. Cryo, though, having to walk through the slow, is going to get headshot by Milos, as Nolan finds one as well. So now in 2v2, Spike is planted very open. Good plant spot for the attacking side. As the first snake bite comes out, a little past the spike, but enough threatening as Nolan finds his 3rd on the round, gets Milos. Yellow the Flower is caught with a snake bite on the wrist. Nolan will take her out as well. That's a 4-piece on the round. And they're going to give him the spike to get the showstopper online. So Team Positive, 3 of their own in a row, have now taken the lead. And we're getting into the nitty-gritty now. It's 10-10. Team Positive won the first map of Ascent. Sod God's looking for a split here. They come into this set at 3 and 6, or 3 and 5. They lose the first map. Now they're 3 and 6. They could really use this to stay in the playoff hunt. 8-team league. Each team plays each other in a two map set twice, so 4 maps against each team total. And Sod Gods, only the top 4 teams make playoffs. Sod Gods are, you figure, going to be right around that spot for contention. Especially if they can convert a win here, which they might need early on. This is still the first half of the round robin. It's the first time these 2 teams see each other, as they're storming through mid are the Sod Gods. Some early utility exchanges, as Zinju actually finds Nolan. Still a lot of fraggers to find as Cryo goes down from Dreamer. Morningstar is isolated on the site, but Aki finds 1, Aki finds 2. Those are big picks. Yellow the Flower. Someone's gonna have to recover this spike. That just went down in front of her. Zinju's taking a lot from the snake bite, but it pays off as he finds Mystic Panda. Yellow the Flower here with Milos to try to retake the spike. Morningstar's the only one here and isn't really looking. They're looking the other direction. They do swing out, but it's into both players. They will go down. They don't know where Aki is. They don't know that. They might not know that Aki's on 2 HP. Who just tucks away, and Yellow the Flower just doesn't catch his back. Milos gets the spike down. Aki swings back out. She'll find that. She's on for 4. Could be on for the ace here on 2 hit points. Has to finish off this 1v2. She's walking down the hallway. Milos isn't looking. Milos isn't looking. He's gonna move slightly. Doesn't see the gun, but nice flick to the head. Keeps Aki from pulling out the 2 hit point clutch. Bit of overkill with the headshot, but either way, they go down. And Milos gets the 11th on the board for Sod Gods. Sod Gods once again here, facing a pretty big round. or Team Positive, I have to say. Big round for Sod Gods too, of course, but only because Team Positive's money doesn't seem to be great. I do see a judge out there. I'm not positive if that's an intentional buy, specifically, or if they just couldn't afford a rifle on another player. Nevertheless, the judge coming out, if that does mean the economy is low, Team Positive really needs this round, or they're going to be facing map point on a low buy. As the Sod Gods start to storm down, B long. Take control of yellow, but they haven't pushed in further. We'll see if Solky and Nolan see each other in the head, but neither can pull the trigger fast enough, as that's going to prompt the showstopper out of Nolan. We'll see where he sends it. Has a feeling Solgy's wrapped away. Zin peeks out, finds one. Solgy, though, will trade, and she's going to get healed back up with the Devour. Another trade goes through, but Nolan's going to get two this time as he swings out and finds Solgy reloading. The lockdown comes down. Yellow the Flower, though, is going to find Cryo. And with Dreamer having lurked all the way up A, she's just going to run over there to get the spike down. So, 2v2 retake will be the
30
play
seconds
as
left.
the lockdown just fades away.
Spike
Good thought,
planted.
but the spike managed to rotate out. Cryo couldn't hold it, so a 2v2. Nolan's going to run up flank. We'll see if he can get the better of Yellow the Flower. I think he just blast packed and made noise as Morningstar and Dreamer are going to start dueling. These are two 1v1s right now, although Nolan's
One enemy
swinging
remaining.
around. Goes down to Yellow the Flower, though. She got the angle on him. That's a really, really big kill. Nolan had so many frags here, I think 21 or so. Morningstar has been struggling a lot more. They'll have to be good for the 1v2 here. But time has just really slipped away. Yeah, they're going to have to choose to turn and save. As Sod Gods go to map point for this upset second map. They did lose the first map, but they're looking to shut down Team Positive's 9-map win streak to start the season. Take a series split. Sod Gods came into this map, or this match, at 3-5. Team Positive, that perfect 8-0 that is now 9-0, and looks like it might fall to 9-1. Huge plays out of Sod Gods. Solgy got 2 nice kills on that map, and Cryo just unable to get the rotator. Also goes down to Dreamer. And then just better angles for the Sod Gods
want to
on the
play?
retake.
Let's play.
End up taking the map, or end up taking the round and putting themselves on map point. And Neelis isn't going to hesitate. He's just going to pull out the Tour de Force here, as that's a really early Hunter's Fury. That must have been off a sound cue, because there's nobody on the other side of that thing, nowhere even close. Perhaps a designed play of some sort. Doesn't work, though. Finds nothing. Really unfortunate for Team Positive. That was the only ultimate they had online, and they might sorely need it soon, as they're feeling a little pressured to have to rotate towards A. There are 2 Sod Gods there, but only 2, as they continue to play this split style that worked well for them last round.
The hunt begins.
As it looks like there's just going to be a 2-man fake here. Solgy peeking out first. She'll go down, as there's a trio of guns here for Team Positive. Now a quartet. But it's all a fake, and they're starting to catch on. Zinju will find Cryo, trying to get away. He's just going to continue to be a nuisance as the spike is going down. We'll see if he can find Morningstar as well, as they just catch sight and start to turn and run. Meanwhile, Yellow the Flower has popped the Viper's Pit. That could be very difficult for the Sod Gods. Nolan will, or Team Positive rather, as Nolan will find Milos. It's a 3v3, and Zinju is far away, but they have to work through the Viper's Pit first, and they also have to work through Dreamer, who will go down. So now, Yellow the Flower, the last defender on the site, but Zinju has rotated around and found the back of Morningstar, so Aki and Nolan going to have to combine to do it. These two have been huge so far in this set. Can they be huge as it ends? Nolan will find the first, but the molly and the shots. Zinju gets 4 on the round, clutches it out 1v2, and the Sod Gods will do it. They will find map 2, and they will shut down the 9-game win streak of Team Positive. So after dropping the first map of Ascent 13-9, the Sod Gods come roaring back on Icebox to take it 13-10. And Team Positive drops their very first map of the season. No perfect no longer, and the last perfect team in any tier of the VDC has fallen at the hands of the Grass Touchers and their team, the Side Gods. So, with that map over, and the 2-game set concluded, thank you very much for having joined us. Again, that was a 1-1 split between the Side Gods and Team Positive. Thank you for joining us. We will catch you hopefully on Friday for the next stream, and have a good night.
Spike.
Get out of my way.